Hey Cowboys Nation! Welcome back to the channel. As always, we're here bringing you the latest and greatest on all things Dallas Cowboys. Our team's going through a rough patch, no doubt about it, but the Cowboys front office isn't backing down. They're making moves to keep this season alive, and just before the trade deadline, they went out and made a significant addition to our roster. We've got some big news involving a trade for wide receiver Jonathan Mingo, along with updates on our quarterback situation now that Dak Prescott is set to miss time with a hamstring injury. This is going to be an interesting ride, so hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into what this means for our team moving forward. Let's start with the big headline. Dallas Cowboys have officially traded for Carolina Panthers wide receiver Jonathan Mingo. This trade shows that the Cowboys are determined to improve, even with the current challenges on the field. The team sent a 4th-round draft pick to Carolina in exchange for Mingo and a 7th-round pick. Now, if you're wondering who Jonathan Mingo is and what he brings to Dallas, here's the breakdown. Mingo was one of the top wide receiver prospects in the 2023 NFL Draft after an impressive career at Ole Mississippi. Though he was drafted in the 2nd round by the Panthers, his NFL career hasn't exactly taken off yet. In his 24 games, he's put up only 55 receptions for 539 yards and is still looking for his first touchdown. Some might question the move and say Dallas paid a high price for a player with unproven stats, but here's the key. Mingo is just 23 years old, and he has the physical potential to be a standout. So, what's Dallas thinking here? Why go after a receiver with these stats? Well, let's take a look at the bigger picture. Our current receiving core has been dealing with injuries, most notably with CeeDee Lamb playing through an AC joint issue. This trade is about depth, flexibility, and giving ourselves a chance to take some pressure off Lamb, especially with Dak Prescott on the sideline. Mingo's got a rookie contract, meaning he's a low-risk, high-reward type of player. If he can find his stride in Dallas, he could provide just the spark our offense needs. Remember, Mingo's physical traits were what made him a standout in college. He's fast, explosive, and has great hands when he's in rhythm. While he hasn't lived up to the hype in Carolina, the Cowboys see potential where others see risk. If Mike McCarthy and the offensive staff can get him up to speed, Mingo could be a weapon that complements CD and helps open up our struggling offense. Now let's talk about the quarterback situation, which has a lot of us on edge. Dak Prescott injured his hamstring in last week's game against the Falcons, and now he's officially been placed on injured reserve, meaning he'll miss at least the next 4 games. Losing Dak is a massive blow for Dallas. He's the leader on and off the field, and he's been the one carrying this team through the ups and downs. With Dak sidelined, backup quarterback Cooper Rush is stepping in as the starter. Rush has proven to be reliable in previous outings, but let's be honest, the Cowboys are in a tough spot. The offense was already struggling to find consistency, and losing Dak makes that hill a little steeper. But here's where things get interesting. Jerry Jones hinted at the possibility of using Trey Lance in some creative ways. Jerry Jones made waves this week by suggesting that Trey Lance might get a chance to show his skills on the field. Lance, as many of you remember, was acquired from the San Francisco 49ers earlier this year, and his career has been rocky, to say the least. Injuries and limited playing time have slowed his development, but the Cowboys may have an opportunity to use his athleticism in some unique packages. Think about what the New Orleans Saints do with Taysom Hill, a versatile player who can run, throw, and create mismatches. Lance has similar physical abilities, and with the Cowboys' season hanging in the balance, why not try something unconventional? Using Lance in gadget plays could bring a new dimension to the offense, especially with Cooper Rush at quarterback. Jones' comment about adding a punch to the offense hints that the team is willing to get creative. Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Are you open to seeing Lance in a non-traditional role? The Cowboys are currently sitting at 3-5, and every game from here on out is make or break. We've seen how this team has struggled with consistency, and the front office clearly believes there's still time to turn things around. Bringing in Mingo gives us a potential new offensive weapon, and utilizing Lance in unique ways could keep defenses guessing. These moves show that Dallas isn't giving up, and they're looking to adapt and overcome. The Eagles game is looming, and with divisional implications, it's arguably one of the biggest matchups of the season. Mingo and Lance might not be the magic fix, but they represent a willingness to try something different, to take risks, and to fight for a playoff spot. This is the time for Cowboys fans to rally behind the team and see what these new pieces can bring to the field. The Dallas Cowboys took a tough loss against the Atlanta Falcons in Week 9, but the bigger blow was losing Dak Prescott to a hamstring injury. According to Jerry Jones, our QB1 is likely headed to injured reserve, meaning he'll be out for at least the next 4 games. Dak's injury came at the worst possible time, with Dallas sitting at 3-5 on the season and in desperate need of wins to stay competitive in the NFC East. For those of you who might be wondering about the specifics of the injury, it happened late in the game against Atlanta. Now, a hamstring issue can be tricky. It requires time to heal, and pushing a player back too soon can lead to setbacks. Jerry Jones himself didn't provide an exact timetable, explaining on 105.3 The Fan, "It's an extended period of time here. I wouldn't dare make a prediction when it could be. We'll see kind of how his rehab goes. Assuming Dak is placed on IR, here's what we're looking at. The earliest he could return would be in Week 14 when we face the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football. This means Prescott would be out for critical games against the Philadelphia Eagles, Houston Texans, Washington Commanders, and New York Giants. That's a long stretch of football, and each of those games has the potential to shape the Cowboys' season. For any team, losing their starting quarterback is a huge challenge, but when it's Dak, who's been the backbone of the offense, it's especially tough. He's not just a leader on the field, but also someone who has consistently lifted the team's spirits, even in tough times. But one thing is certain, while he's sidelined, Dak will be working hard on his rehab and supporting the team every step of the way. So, what does this mean for the offense? With Dak out, Cooper Rush will be taking the reins. Cooper's no stranger to stepping up when the team needs him, but this will be one of the biggest tests of his career. We've seen him perform well in a handful of starts, but this time, the pressure is on a whole new level. At 3-5, the Cowboys are hanging on the edge of playoff contention, and every game counts from here on out. Rush's job won't be easy. The offense has been inconsistent, and without Dak's leadership and mobility, he'll need every weapon on deck to help him out. Luckily, he's got CeeDee Lamb, who, even while playing through an AC joint injury, has been a crucial part of the passing game. And if Jonathan Mingo, who we recently traded for, can make an impact, that could be another asset to help Rush keep the chains moving. In an interesting twist, Jerry Jones hinted at the possibility of getting creative with Trey Lance. Now, as many of you know, Lance came over from the San Francisco 49ers and has yet to see much action, but this situation might open the door for him. Jerry mentioned that there are things they could try with Lance to add a punch to the offense, and it's got fans wondering if we might see Lance in a gadget role, similar to how the Saints used Taysom Hill. Lance's skill set is intriguing. He's got the athleticism, the arm, and the ability to scramble. This could be an opportunity for the Cowboys to get creative on offense, especially in the red zone or in short yardage situations. So, Cowboys Nation, would you be interested in seeing Lance take some snaps in unique packages? The Cowboys' upcoming schedule is filled with games that could make or break the season. We've got a huge divisional clash against the Philadelphia Eagles coming up, and then we face 3 other teams that won't make it easy for us. Every game matters, and while the Cowboys have been through adversity before, this stretch will require the best from everyone on the roster. Dallas needs a solid ground game more than ever. Running backs Rico Dowdle and Dalvin Cook will have to carry a significant load, taking pressure off Cooper Rush and allowing the offense to stay balanced. Our O-line will also be crucial. Their performance could be the difference between a functional offense and one that struggles without Dak's presence. On the defensive side, the Cowboys need to step up and dominate. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs, among others, will be essential to controlling the game, putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and creating opportunities for the offense. If the defense can hold strong, it'll keep Dallas competitive, even if the offense isn't firing on all cylinders. Alright, Cowboys fans, it's your turn to weigh in. How do you feel about the trade for Jonathan Mingo? Do you think he has what it takes to become a playmaker for Dallas? And what are your thoughts on Trey Lance possibly getting some snaps in gadget plays? Do you believe these moves can help us make a run for the playoffs, or is this season just too far gone? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. We're here for the ride with you, Cowboys Nation, and we can't wait to see where this season goes. Thanks for watching, and let's keep cheering on America's team. Go Cowboys!